A Colorado student gets kicked out of school for an absurd reason, but this one has a happy ending. Special Counsel Jack Smith appears to be breaking the very first rule of being a special counsel, and we're going to dig into the 5,400 secret Biden emails that the National Archives is still protecting. Hello, I'm Mike Huckabee with your August 31st edition of The Breakdown. We're nearly at 1 million subscribers, and what'll happen when we get there? Absolutely nothing. Hey, but it's a nice number. So if you get to the end of this video and you find it informative, and I'm confident that you will, please consider subscribing to the channel. Be sure to leave a like and sharing your thoughts in the comment section below. Before we get to our main story today, 12-year-old Colorado student Jaden Rodriguez was recently kicked out of class for wearing a Gadsden flag patch. That's the flag with the snake and the lettering that says, "Don't tread on me," written right there on the patch. The reason? Well, what else? Racism. Yeah, racism, that's right. The symbol of fighting back those no-good lobsters in the British Army of the 18th century is apparently rooted in slavery. Well, at least according to the school administration that removed Jaden.
The reason that they do not want the flag, the reason we do not want the flag displayed, is due to its origins with slavery and slave trade. That is what was, that is the reasoning behind why we do not want this displayed.
The Gadsden flag.
The "Don't tread on me."
Okay.
Now, to his credit, Democrat Governor of Colorado Jared Polis responded to the incident by defending the Gadsden flag as a proud symbol of the American Revolution and an iconic warning to Britain or any other government not to violate the liberties of Americans. I'm happy to be able to report that since the incident on Tuesday, Jaden has been readmitted to school and he's able to display the Gadsden flag as well. Also, a small but consequential update on Trump's upcoming classified documents trial in Florida. Jay Bratt, top aide to Trump's special counsel Jack Smith, has reportedly and repeatedly visited the White House. Yep. I mean, the whole point of a special counsel is impartiality, especially to, for example, the political rival of the person that you're investigating. So the fact that Jack Smith's aide has been visiting the White House is an enormous red flag. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan of Ohio has written both the DOJ and White House Chief of Staff to provide records of these interactions, citing concerns about Smith's impartiality. I'm sure they'll get right on that. Of course they will. Meanwhile, investigative reporter John Solomon of Just the News, probably the best longtime source of information on the Biden-Burisma scandal, offered his perspective on the growing story about Joe Biden's use of pseudonyms in communications with son Hunter, all about Ukraine. In 2021, his team found the first communications on Hunter's laptop and from the State Department that showed Joe Biden using the pseudonyms. Solomon said there was an indication that this was larger. That's why we put the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, request in. To do this, Just the News was working with the Southeastern Legal Foundation, the group that is now suing, to get the approximately 5,400 emails at issue. Solomon described an earlier episode in which Joe Biden forwarded some highly sensitive information to his private email account. He copied it to Hunter. Received a request from U.S. Embassy. It had concerned ongoing negotiations for the impending release of a U.S. hostage prisoner in Turkey. Now, why was Hunter, a private citizen, copied on this? I mean, these would have been classified emails. It's probably not a good idea to send sensitive communications from the embassy to your non-government, drug-addicted, definitely not making that money legitimately son. Now, if you watched Live with Mike this week, you probably heard me talk about how the National Archives admitted that it had about 5,400 emails written under at least 3 Joe Biden pseudonyms and copied to Hunter. Turns out there might be as many as 6 accounts. And in an update, the archives is now refusing to turn certain emails over. They're saying that some would require permission from not only President Biden, but get this, President Obama. Sorting through the emails, they say, will take years. Never mind, they've got about 3,000 employees who could prioritize this task and do it quickly. This is one reason why we do need an impeachment inquiry. Some of the emails, of course, are on the laptop. On May 26 of 2016, Biden aide John Flynn wrote, Robert L. Peters, with a copy to Hunter Biden. Hey, boss, 8:45 a.m. prep for 9 a.m. phone call with President Poroshenko, followed by the rest of the day's schedule. Of course, that was back when Joe didn't put a lid on his day at noon. George Washington law professor Jonathan Turley expressed to Fox News' Jesse Waters that he sees a change in how the media are perceiving all this.
Now the media is willing to accept that indeed Hunter Biden was running an influence peddling operation, but they insist that he was just selling the illusion of influence and access. Well, how do we know that? Do you just assume that? These emails could go a long way to determining what was a deliverable and whether it went beyond an illusion.
On that note, I'd say that the Victor Shokin firing could hardly be seen as anything but a deliverable, and Biden delivered that like UPS. Over at Newsmax, Greg Kelly reports that there is incontrovertible evidence of President Biden's corruption, and it's about to be made public. His sources, whom he won't identify as currently either in or out of government, tell him that this won't happen before Labor Day, but the evidence, in the form of a recording, will be made public before the end of October.
There is an audio tape, I am told, by people in the know, not necessarily in government, not necessarily out of government. I can't say too much, but there is incontrovertible evidence of Joe Biden's corruption that is about to be made public.
Kelly says that once this is revealed, Biden will not be able to be the nominee for president. Well, we always knew that there would be something to take him out of contention. He might be able to remain as president, but probably not. His sources say the White House is aware of the recording, or recordings, plural, and they're worried about it. Kelly didn't suggest this, but I've got to wonder if someone located those recordings that Burisma founder Zaleski allegedly said that he made of Hunter and his dad. You'd think that the recorded call between then Vice President Biden and then Ukrainian President Poroshenko about firing Shokin in the context we have today, you'd think that'd be enough. Kelly plays it during the segment.
Yesterday, I met with the General Prosecutor Shokin.
Yes.
And despite of the fact that we didn't have any corruption charges, we don't have any information about he doing something wrong, I especially asked him, no, it was the day before yesterday, I especially asked him to resign.
Great.
And this is my second step for keeping my promises.
I agree.
Finally, Hungarian President Viktor Orban, in an interview with Tucker Carlson, made some illuminating comments about our own country's weaponization of the justice system.
To do what's going on now in some countries and even in your country, to use the justice system against the political opponents. In Hungary, I think it's impossible to imagine. That was done by the communists.
When asked what the next move should be to accomplish peace, he said, call back Trump, because you can criticize him for many reasons. I understand all the discussion, but the best foreign policy of the recent several decades belonged to him. Yes, that's what he said. And it really does sound like a good idea. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel below, leaving a like, and sharing your thoughts in the comments section. If you want more of my news analysis and commentary, you can sign up for my free newsletter at MikeHuckabee.com. Comes to your email inbox twice a day, and did I mention it's totally free? That's it for this edition of The Breakdown. I'm Mike Huckabee.